What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to talk about F, Marry, Kill. Yep, it's F, asterisk, 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 is the title. Obviously, we know what word goes there if you've ever played the game before, but I guess we can't put that word in titles of films. So, Jeffrey Wright would be really upset, or his character in American Fiction, obviously. Or his fake character in American Fiction? I don't know, one of those three. So, yeah, this is currently available video on demand. It stars Lucy Hale. It has audio description narrated by Roy Samuelson. We're going to talk about it. Click like and subscribe. I'm a blind film critic. I talk a lot about audio description and accessibility right now, at a time when companies are running away from DEI policies, which are the same kind of policies that lead towards more accessibility or having people thinking about accessibility. So now I have to become the begging influencer online, I guess, so that they notice me when I talk about audio description and accessibility. Roy usually makes good tracks, so I wasn't really disappointed in this track at all. Like, he doesn't generally associate himself or get hired for tracks that don't have the money to pay for, a quality check and a decent writer and good sound mixing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a solid track, and there are plenty of times where it likes to throw fuck, marry, or kill up at the screen. And so you have to sort of keep track of it. So it stars Lucy Hale, because apparently Lucy Hale is having a hard time dating people. It's really hard to imagine that pretty people have a hard time finding mates, but this is one of those movies. And so she goes on the dating apps, and her older sister basically swipes right on everybody. And so she starts matching with people. At the same time, there's also a killer in her town, and they listen to a podcast. So this is a little bit like Based on a True Story, the Peacock Limited series, where they become obsessed with a podcast about a serial killer. And the killer is targeting people on dating apps. So she starts wondering, oh no, what if I'm dating somebody who's the killer? So she's trying to, I don't know, she's 30 and she's like, I don't want to be 30 and single. So her first date is this guy, Mitch, and he's sketchy because the work that he does has caused, like, he doesn't have any fingerprints, like his fingerprints are burned off, which is a weird trait. But she seems to get along with him the most. And followed up by a vet who seems like a nice guy, but he's got so many personality quirks that it was just really sad to kind of watch Lucy Hale try to date him and consider him and as like maybe marriage material. Why? Because he has a little bit of money from being a vet. Like, he's not that rich. So she remembers him as being the guy who picked his nose in school, and he still does that. And he corrects people. They're at a restaurant, and the waitress comes up and says "Buongiorno," because obviously it's an Italian restaurant. And he's like, "I think it's pronounced bonjour." And I love helping people. Like, fuck this guy anyway. So for some reason, he has to be a legitimate contender for Lucy Hale. And then the third guy is this, I guess they just keep making him sketchy, but he's like installing a security camera system for her. And I guess they have some chemistry, but what this film does basically is it sets her up with three guys, and she keeps rotating fuck, marry, and kill between the three of them, with kill being the person she thinks is the killer at any given time. This film throws so many red herrings at you. It's just like, because like everyone is a suspect at some point. She even has like a gay best friend that I think is a suspect at some point. And honestly, I thought the gay best friend was going to be the killer. I was like, what is she does have a male friend here. You get thrown some clues along the way. as to like things to look for. I love that everybody has like the same shoe size. She ends up dating 3 different dudes who all have the same shoe size. So of course, any of them could be the killer. Can't even rule one of them out. Um, so yeah, it throws so many people at you as being the potential that I guess that's kind of the fun part, is that she keeps running around like a crazy person, you know, because she doesn't know. Like, there's a she ends up going to the police, and she ends up going to um, this cop who doesn't really respond well to women who have um, you know, filed complaints about maybe they thought they dated somebody who might be the killer, and he's like, yeah, women they start seeing things that aren't really there. And I guess that's kind of what this movie's doing, even though it did it through sort of like a douchey character. Like, everybody here is kind of a douche. Um, so she really shouldn't end up with anybody, but I guess, um, I mean, I don't know, maybe she learns her life lesson. I have no idea, but this feels, it's like a comedy that leans a little bit in the horror genre, but it never gets really violent. It's not even nearly as bloody as like Happy Death Day. Like, it doesn't try to be. It has a couple of creepier moments where it leans into the slasher genre a little bit, but nothing really that's going to stand out. I'm not really familiar with most of the cast. I guess the one that plays the sister was on 2 episodes of Glee, uh, and I guess Lab Rats at some point. But basically, this is Lucy Hale. Um, the writing is okay. This is a watchable movie. Some of it is cringy. It's cringy that she has these 3 choices. Like, she couldn't have 3 solid choices. They all have to be 3 choices where you're like, I don't know, man. Like, when she's going out with the guy that she went to school with, I was like, really? And she's like legitimately trying to consider this guy. Um, I don't know. At one point, he goes over and he like attacks some guy who's like playing guitar in the park. You know, it's just like, why is he on the list? You know, I mean, like, there are things that happen throughout this movie where you're just like, girl, you need to have standards. The hilarious thing was I went to IMDb, and if you go down there, it like aggregates, it picks out like, I don't know, 4 random reviews or 5 or whatever. And somebody was like, oh, they need to stop making this leftist garbage. That's what's ruining America. I was like, what about this movie was leftist? Like, do people on the other side not use dating apps? I always just kind of assumed that Farmers Only was like their home ground. Like, is that not a thing? Like, I don't really, it's not really leftist propaganda. I mean, there is a gay character, but I mean, he's definitely not in the top of the call sheet. He's maybe like 9th or 10th. He's very like sporadically in and out of this, there to offer like, you know, that sassy commentary when you have that gay best friend character where you're like, yes, girl. And then he leaves and you're like, where did you go? So yeah, there really isn't, I don't know. I guess because there's premarital sex, and it's like, you watched the movie called Fuck, Marry, Kill, and you're complaining about leftist material. That's on you. I mean, I don't know if you watched a movie called Fuck, Marry, Kill thinking that you were about to watch like a religious Christian production, faith-based or something, but you might have head trauma. That's possible if you went into this thinking that this was going to be for the family. I really don't know what else to tell that person. I kind of wish IMDb would just delete their review just for stupidity alone, but there are so many stupid reviews on IMDb where you watch somebody and like, this isn't even a review of the movie. This is just you ranting about a cast person and something else you saw them in, and has nothing to do with the movie itself. Anyway, so it's fine. It's nothing, it's a time passer, time waster, whatever. No one here is a great actor. Lucy Hale kind of makes her way through. She clearly has the most acting experience. Everybody else has some. I checked their resumes because I literally thought this thing could have been populated by TikTok stars. It is produced by BuzzFeed, so I wasn't completely off base, but I mean, everybody sort of has credits. Like the sister, again, has done some stuff. One of the men that she dated was on Handmaid's Tale. Another one was on like the originals. Uh, yeah, I mean, they all have a couple credits, so it's whatever. So, um, an audio description is decent. I enjoyed it. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It does have a tendency to kind of throw, and then when you look at it and you're done, yeah, I kind of didn't see the killer coming, but you kind of threw everything at me. I like it more um, when you're pretty sure that you think you know who the killer is, and then it turns out to be not that person and then somebody else. But in this, it was like, well, the killer could be one of like I don't know, 4 or 5 different people, and then they're like, oh, then it's this, and you're like, I guess. I mean, I don't think that that's as fun or clever writing, but I did click on a movie called Fuck, Marry, Kill, so I mean, that's on me. I wasn't expecting high cinema. I was expecting an entertaining ride, and I kind of got that. So, um, I'm gonna give Fuck, Marry, Kill a B minus. At the end of the day, I'm gonna remember this and remember it positively at the end of the year. I'm just not gonna remember it like super positively. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I need to see that movie again. You know, it happened. It's out there. If you want something to pass the time while you're waiting for better movies to come out later in the year, and you like this sort of thing, cool. Like, I would say if you liked Happy Death Day, this is maybe up your alley. If not, then that's the closest comp that I can think of off the top of my head, where it's sort of humor mixed with horror. But this one leans a little bit more humorous and a little less horror. So than Happy Death Day, which I think was PG-13. Anyway, yeah, it's not really a hard R either, by the way, in case you're worried about that. I think it's rated R mostly for profanity. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Inclusivity is not a bad word, and I'll see you guys on the other side.